Welcome back to the Metabolic Revolution podcast. I'm Dr. Steve Presciutti, and today I'm about to expose one of the biggest scams in the supplement industry, one that's harming millions of people while pretending to save them. We're talking about fish oil, omega-3s, and the devastating truth that nobody wants you to know. Now, I know we were planning to dive into oral health this week, but something happened in my practice yesterday that made me realize we need to have this conversation right now. A 43-year-old marathon runner came in with heart palpitations, and when I looked at his supplement list, there it was, 2,000 milligrams of fish oil daily, prescribed by his cardiologist for heart health. His body temperature was 96.8 degrees, his hands were ice cold, and his resting heart rate was all over the place. This man was literally poisoning himself with something marketed as medicine, and it broke my heart because I see this every single day. Before we demolish this myth completely, quick reminder. This podcast is educational content only, not medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making changes to your supplement routine. Though honestly, after what you're about to learn, you might want to find a provider who actually understands biochemistry. This is episode 11, and we've been building toward this moment. We've exposed how polyunsaturated fats destroy your cells and overall metabolism, revealed cellular energy as the basis of all health and disease, shown you the gut endotoxin connection, vindicated sugar and salt, demolished the cholesterol myth, freed you from protein obsession, exposed how too much vigorous exercise can wreck your metabolism, revealed the fasting trap, and last week, showed you how your temperature tells you everything about the health of your metabolism. Today, we're going after the golden child of the supplement industry, the one thing every health influencer, every cardiologist, every nutritionist agrees on: fish oil, omega-3s, those expensive capsules that smell like low tide and supposedly protect your heart. Well, I'm about to show you research that proves they actually increase mortality, suppress your immune system, and destroy your metabolism at the molecular level. And the worst part? The supplement industry has known this for decades. Let me tell you about Patricia, 62 years old, taking fish oil religiously for 15 years because her mother died of a heart attack. She came to me with joint pain so severe she could barely walk, memory problems that had her terrified of dementia, and a metabolism so suppressed she was gaining weight on 1,200 calories a day. Her inflammation markers were through the roof, which made no sense because fish oil is supposed to be anti-inflammatory, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. And I'm going to show you exactly why. Here's what the $60 billion fish oil industry doesn't want you to understand. Omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA specifically, contain up to 5 to 6 double bonds in their molecular structure. Now, I know that sounds like chemistry class, but stay with me because this is where it gets criminal. Every double bond is a site of instability, a place where oxidation can occur. Omega-6 fats, the stuff that makes seed oils so bad, which we already know are highly problematic for human health, have only 2 double bonds, and that's bad enough. But omega-3s, they have literally 3 times as many sites for oxidative damage to occur. They are 3 times more susceptible to oxidation, potentially 3 times more likely to cause the same anti-metabolic effect as seed oils. Let me put this in perspective. It's like comparing a match to a blowtorch. Both can burn you, but one is exponentially more destructive. And you're swallowing this blowtorch every morning thinking it's protecting your heart. Ray Peat, the biochemist who saw through this scam decades ago, called fish oil an anti-metabolic poison. Not anti-inflammatory, anti-metabolic. There's a massive difference, and understanding it might save your life. When you take fish oil, yes, you might see inflammation markers drop. But it's not because you're healing, it's because you're suppressing your immune system's ability to respond. It's like unplugging your smoke detector to stop it from beeping while your house burns down. The research is absolutely damning when you actually read it instead of just the headlines. A major study of heart disease patients, people who should theoretically benefit most from omega-3s, found that fish oil supplementation increased cardiac death risk by 18%. Another study of over 12,000 people showed that omega-3 supplements increase prostate cancer risk by 71%. These aren't small studies with questionable methods. These are gold standard trials that the industry desperately tries to bury or explain away. But here's where it gets even more insidious. Fish oil doesn't just fail to protect you, It actively destroys your cellular machinery. When these highly unsaturated fats do get incorporated into your cell membranes, they make them fragile and prone to breakdown. Your mitochondria, remember those are your cellular power plants we've talked about, literally cannot function properly when their membranes are full of omega-3s. They actually become leaky. Studies have shown that the proton gradient used to make ATP actually diminishes in the presence of lots of omega-3s in the mitochondrial membrane, and subsequently, those mitochondria produce significantly less ATP. Oh, and they generate massive amounts of oxidative stress on top it. The biochemistry here is undeniable. These results have been repeated across various labs over decades. I had a client, David, who perfectly illustrates this disaster. He'd been taking high-dose fish oil for 5 years on his doctor's recommendation. His triglycerides looked better on paper, sure, but he felt horrible. Constant fatigue, frequent colds, slow wound healing, and this persistent brain fog that made him feel like he was living underwater. When we tested his vitamin E levels, they were almost undetectable. Why? Because his body was using every molecule of vitamin E trying to protect itself from the oxidative damage of all that fish oil. We stopped the fish oil immediately and started supporting his metabolism with saturated fats, coconut oil, butter, some good quality beef tallow. Within 3 weeks, his energy started returning. Within 3 months, his immune system started to come back online. Ironically, he got a minor cold as his body finally had the energy to mount a proper immune response. 6 months later, his cognitive function had improved so dramatically that his wife asked if he was on some kind of smart drug. Now, let's talk about the Inuit paradox, because I know someone's thinking, but what about the Eskimos? They eat tons of fish and omega-3s. This is one of the most misunderstood examples in all of nutrition. First, traditional Inuit populations had a life expectancy of about 43 years, not exactly a ringing endorsement. Second, they developed unique genetic adaptations specifically to handle high omega-3 intake, adaptations that actually reduce omega-3 levels in their tissues. Their bodies literally evolved defenses against these fats. And third, when they ate traditional diets, they consumed the whole animal, including massive amounts of saturated fats from seal and whale blubber, plus fat-soluble vitamins that provided some protection. Remember, if you're listening to this, you're likely not an Inuit, and if you are, well, welcome. But for everyone else, you don't have their specific genetic adaptations, and you're certainly not eating whole seals. Rather, you're taking concentrated oxidized fish oil that was rancid before it even got encapsulated, thinking it's medicine. And before someone says, but I buy the expensive krill oil that's nitrogen flushed and tested for oxidation, let me stop you right there. It is well known, again, basic biochemistry, that EPA and DHA begin oxidizing at temperatures well below human body temperature. Even if you're running cold at 96 degrees, that's still plenty hot enough to trigger rapid lipid peroxidation of these highly unstable molecules. So even if by some miracle your fancy $60 bottle isn't rancid yet, the moment those oils hit your body's inside, your body temperature, they're already starting to oxidize, creating the exact same lipid peroxides and cellular damage as the cheap stuff from the discount store. You're basically paying extra for the privilege of having the oxidation happen inside your body instead of in the bottle. Congratulations, you've turned yourself into the reaction vessel. Let me blow your mind with something else. You know how fish oil is supposed to reduce inflammation by competing with omega-6 fats? That's actually part of the problem. Both omega-6 and omega-3 fats compete for the same enzyme systems in your body. When you flood your system with fish oil, you're not solving the omega-6 problem. You're just adding another problematic fat to the competition. It's like trying to fix a traffic jam by adding more cars but in a different lane. The real solution is to reduce all polyunsaturated fats. Get your omega-6 intake as low as possible by eliminating seed oils and get your minimal omega-3 needs from whole food sources. A piece of wild salmon once a week, some pastured eggs, maybe some grass-fed beef. That's it. Your body needs maybe 0.5 to 1% of calories from omega-3s, not the massive pharmacological doses being pushed by the supplement industry. Here's what really happens when you take fish oil every day. It accumulates in your tissues, your brain, your heart, your liver. Unlike saturated fats, which your body can easily burn or store safely, these polyunsaturated fats stick around for years. They're constantly generating lipid peroxides, constantly triggering inflammation, constantly suppressing your thyroid function. You're literally aging yourself from the inside out while thinking you're being healthy. And the studies showing benefits? Let's talk about those for a second. Most positive fish oil studies are either industry-funded, use surrogate markers instead of actual health outcomes, or compare fish oil to even worse alternatives. When you see fish oil reduces triglycerides, what they're not telling you is that it's doing so by suppressing your liver's ability to package fats properly. It's metabolic suppression masquerading as improvement. I want to share something that Mike Fave said that really stuck with me. We've been convinced that inflammation is the enemy, but inflammation is just your body's response to damage. Suppressing inflammation without addressing the damage is like painting over rust. Fish oil is the ultimate paint job. It makes things look better on the surface while the underlying destruction continues. So what should you do instead? First, throw out your fish oil. I don't care how expensive it was or what promises are on the bottle. It's literally toxic waste in a capsule. Second, focus on getting adequate vitamin E. This protects against whatever PUFAS you can't avoid. Third, embrace saturated fats. Coconut oil, butter, beef tallow. These are the fats that actually support your metabolism instead of destroying it. If you're worried about heart health, here's what actually works. Supporting your thyroid function, maintaining adequate body temperature, ensuring proper mineral balance, especially magnesium, potassium, and sodium, and yes, eating enough carbohydrates to keep your stress hormones low. Your heart is a muscle that runs on energy. Give it energy, not oxidized fish oil. Let me tell you about the transformation I see when people stop poisoning themselves with omega-3 supplements. Within days, their body temperature starts rising. Within weeks, their energy improves and brain fog lifts. Within months, their chronic inflammation actually resolves, not just gets suppressed, but actually heals. Their hormones balance out, their thyroid function improves, and surprisingly often, their cholesterol profile improves too, but in a real, metabolically healthy way. Remember Patricia, the woman I mentioned earlier who'd been taking fish oil for 15 years? 6 months after stopping fish oil and supporting her metabolism properly, she's literally a different person. Her joint pain is gone. Completely gone. Her memory is sharp again. She's eating 2,200 calories a day and slowly losing weight. Her inflammation markers didn't just improve, they normalized. And here's the kicker. Her cardiovascular risk factors are better now than they were during all those years of fish oil supplementation. The supplement industry is going to fight this information tooth and nail. There's too much money at stake. They'll cite more studies, create more confusion, fund more research designed to show benefits. But the biochemistry doesn't lie. Multiple double bonds equal instability. Instability equals oxidation. Oxidation equals cellular damage. It's that simple. You know what's truly criminal about this whole situation? The people pushing fish oil the hardest, the cardiologists, the nutritionists, the health influencers, they genuinely believe they're helping. They've been so thoroughly indoctrinated by industry-funded education that they can't see what's right in front of them. Patients getting worse while faithfully taking their fish oil. Inflammation that won't resolve despite anti-inflammatory supplements. Metabolisms grinding to a halt while following heart-healthy protocols. Here's my challenge to you. If you're taking fish oil, stop for 30 days. Just 30 days. Support your metabolism with real food. Saturated fats, adequate carbohydrates, quality proteins in moderate amounts. Take your temperature every morning. Track your energy. Notice what happens. I guarantee you'll feel the difference, and once you do, you'll never go back to those rancid capsules again. Look, I understand the fear. Heart disease is terrifying. We've lost people we love to heart attacks and strokes. The promise of protection in a bottle is incredibly seductive. But fish oil isn't protection. It's slow poisoning that makes you more vulnerable, not less. Your heart needs energy, stable cellular membranes, and proper thyroid function, not oxidized marine oils that suppress your entire metabolism. If you're ready to break free from the fish oil delusion and actually support your cellular health, our Energy Reset Essentials mini course gives you the complete framework for understanding fats, energy production, and true cardiovascular protection. For just $39, you get the protocols we use to help people restore their metabolism after years of fish oil damage. No more confusion about which fats help and which hurt. For those who want comprehensive support breaking free from all the supplement scams and diet myths, our Bioenergetic Reset program provides everything: proper fat ratios, meal plans that actually support your heart, and weekly group coaching to guide you through the transition. At $133 a month, it costs less than what most people spend on useless supplements that are making them sicker. And if you've been taking high-dose fish oil for years and need personalized help reversing the damage, our one-on-one coaching provides customized protocols based on your specific situation. We'll help you restore membrane integrity, support your liver's detox pathways, and rebuild your metabolism from the cellular level up. The revolution isn't about taking more supplements or finding the perfect pill. It's about understanding how your body actually works and giving it what it truly needs. Not oxidized oils that destroy your cells, but stable fats that support them. Not metabolic suppression disguised as anti-inflammation, but genuine healing through cellular energy production. And next week, we're diving into something that affects almost everyone listening: the truth about coffee and what it's really doing to your metabolism. Why your morning coffee ritual might be the single biggest metabolic stressor in your day. Why the same cup of coffee can either protect your liver or spike your cortisol through the roof. And why everything you've been told about caffeine, energy, and that afternoon crash is completely backwards. I'll show you how to turn coffee from a stress bomb into a metabolic enhancer with just a few simple changes. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this one. This is Dr. Steve Presciutti reminding you, you came to the right place. The mainstream has it completely backwards on fish oil, just like they do on almost everything else. But you're here because you know something's not right. You've probably felt it yourself, taking all the quote-unquote right supplements, but feeling worse, following all the quote heart-healthy advice, but watching your health decline. Your body knows the truth. It's been trying to tell you through fatigue, through inflammation, through that cold feeling that never goes away. Listen to it, trust it, and stop poisoning it with oxidized oils marketed as medicine. Everything discussed today is educational information only. Work with a healthcare provider who understands lipid biochemistry and metabolic health before making changes to your supplement routine. Though honestly, finding one who hasn't been brainwashed by the fish oil industry might be harder than you think. The revolution continues. The truth is spreading, and your health depends on hearing it. Let's talk.